Welcome to another Bible contemplation. I hope the sun on my face doesn't make it difficult to see me and hear me. It's lovely to see it though on a chilly autumnal morning. Let's take a moment to recognise God's presence inside us and welcome that presence into more and more of who we are. In the prayer. Jesus, may all that is in you bubble up inside me. May your body and blood be my food and drink. May your passion and death be my strength and life. Jesus, with you by my side, enough has been given. May the shelter I seek be the shadow of your cross. Let me not run from the love which you offer, but hold me safe from the forces of evil. On each of my dying, shed your light and your love. Keep calling me until that day comes, when with your saints I may praise you forever. Amen. We're now into Peter's second chapter in 1 Peter, verses 4 to 6. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For in the scripture it says, "See, I lay a stone in Zion, a choice and precious cornerstone. The one who trusts in him will never be put to shame." And as Peter's reflecting on being living stones, Jesus, the living capital S stone in this translation, and us living stones, I'm sure he had in mind his name, Peter, Petros, which actually means rock. And the word here is lithos, stone. So different word, but very similar idea. And he's referring back to a place in the Psalms, and I haven't looked it up, but it says, the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. So Jesus was that stone rejected by many, condemned, executed, but he is the precious cornerstone who enables us as living stones, all different, not like bricks, all the same, but all different sizes and shapes and sizes, all with something different to contribute. We're brought together by God in order to change the world, in partnership with God and each other. And that is the glory of the church. I know it doesn't always work, but that is the glory of the church. And so we're made into a holy priesthood. Holy has a sense of separation to it, but it's only separated out in order to engage, because a priesthood is about being a link between people and God. How can you be a link between people and God? And this comes through trust in him. And trust is active. The word actually is more believe, but believing can be so static. Oh, I believe the right things. But trusting is engaging. We need to put it into practice to make it real. And that promise that we will never be put to shame. Interestingly, not nothing bad will happen to you. Yeah, we will go through tough times, but we won't be ashamed. And that's very much in the Psalms. Don't let me be put to shame. The psalmist says, the phone is going sideways again. And I might go, oh no, can't see me there. Oh, I don't know what to do. Anyway, I will read the passage again. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For in Scripture it says, "See, I lay a stone in Zion, a chosen and precious cornerstone, and the one who trusts in him will never be put to shame." And the words to spend time with, I choose to be built up, which has a sort of sense of what's going on in this passage. So let's take a moment to breathe into, to meditate on those words. Built up. As you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For in Scripture it says, "See, I lay a stone in Zion, a chosen and precious cornerstone, and the one who trusts in him will never be put to shame." So finally, how can I be built up more with others, other living stones, into God's spiritual house? And recognizing that allowing this to happen flows against the individualism of our culture that wants to focus on me as an individual stone. No, this is together, being built together into a spiritual house, or built up together into a spiritual house. So that means we depend on each other. Others depend on us, we depend on them. So maybe you might like to think on those other spiritual stones who have been important to you and to your being built up to this point, who have helped you to grow in faith. And a prayer. Jesus, we thank you that you are the living stone, and because you are our cornerstone, we can be built up together into a spiritual house where we can give ourselves sacrificially in your service, so that through your love at work in us, we make a difference in this world, so that we may share together in transforming lives and places for your glory. Amen. Thanks.